What up, y'all? Welcome to Money Mondays, episode number 1. We got a good one for you today. This is for content creators, course creators, coaches, consultants, everybody who uses social media to market themselves. And you don't even have to be a business person necessarily to take advantage of this. If you just want to be an influencer, you want to be a model, you want to do YouTube videos, like whatever it is that you want to do, this formula that I'm about to show you in this video will literally help you take your following from zero to whatever you want it to go to in the quickest way that you can by leveraging the virality of your content. So this is the 5 steps to making your content go viral. And a lot of people say you can't predict if content is going to go viral. And while there is some truth to that, there's some variables that we can shift to our favor, right? If we pay attention and we are intentional and deliberate about the way that we make our content, the way that we promote it, then we really can have a pretty big effect on increasing the likelihood that our content will go viral. So step number 1, first and foremost, stop taking advice from people who have never done it. Like, please do me that favor. Don't take any more advice from these people who are making money off of coaching and they have never actually done any content that has gone viral. All right. What I need you to do is study the people who have done it. Study the people that actually pulled this off. So for example, my video, a lot of you may have seen it, the world's first sitting backflip. That thing got over 50 million views across all platforms. It hit the front page of Reddit, it hit the front page of 9gag, it hit the front page of 4chan back when that was a thing. It was shared by Steve-O on Instagram. It was shared by Superhuman Strength on Instagram, shared by like all these different accounts that were picking up this video and sharing it. All the gymnastics accounts, all the cheer accounts, everybody shared that video. And there was a certain formula that I actually followed in that video that was super intentional, super deliberate to make that happen. I'm going to explain that whole formula right here, right now. But the first thing I need you to do is find somebody in your niche that has done it before and straight up copy what they did. All right. Now, I'm not saying actually copy it step by step, but I am saying go analyze what's working in your particular niche, in your particular marketplace right now, today, and then see what variables of their formula you can apply to your own content, right? You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. If you see a trend that is working, jump on that thing. Now, of course, you're going to have to make it your own, but still use what works. This is exactly what I did with the sitting backflip that got 50 million views. A good buddy of mine, Dom Lewis, he did a very similar skill, a sitting back handspring, and he did it where he did the exact same setup, but he put his hands on the ground and then finished the flip rather than actually tucking and doing it with no hands. He also did something where he did a snap down, so he did another type of jump, landed literally on his butt in a seated position, and then from there bounced into the backflip. And so I said, I saw him do that and I saw it blow up on social media. So I sat there and said, I wonder if I could do something similar but make it my own. And that's where the idea and the concept for the seated backflip actually came from. I said, if I can do this seated, stationary, with no momentum, no movement, and just boom, go, it's gonna look like some anti-gravity crazy stuff is going on, and it's gonna for sure catch fire. Now, of course, there were some other things I did after that to help it along, but that was the spark. I said, I saw something that worked. I know how I can make it my own. Let's make a run at this. So that's step number 1, is learn from people who have actually done it. Find what works and integrate that into your viral formula. Step number 2 is study the trends, right? Like, what type of videos are working? What type of camera angles are working? What kind of music is working? Like, look around at your industry, at your niche, at your marketplace, and just see what seems to be working, what seems to be the standard, what seems to help these videos look, sound, feel the best, what elicits the most emotional reaction for me as a content viewer. How am I being affected by the content? What am I noticing? See, we got to get out of this point of just unconsciously soaking up content, and we got to get into this higher level of consciousness where we can say, okay, I'm viewing the content, but I'm viewing it with intention. I'm viewing the content, but I'm understanding what I'm seeing and reverse engineering it as I go, not just mindlessly viewing and watching the content, right? We've got to get to that point together. And so for me, I noticed that when the beat dropped, when the slow motion ended with athletics videos, that was like the thing. right? And so you'll notice if you watch the sitting backflip video, you'll see it's in slow motion. And then as soon as I land, the video speeds up and then the beat hits right then in that moment. And it's like the video and the audio experience is perfectly synced up. And I noticed that with gymnastics videos, that seemed to be the thing that worked. And the videos that did that got more likes, more views, more shares than the ones that didn't. So I said, okay, got it. This is the formula that I need to follow, okay? So take note of lighting, take note of the audio experience, take note of slow motion, take note of how quickly cuts are happening between different camera angles, take notes of specific camera angles, right? Even as a speaker, doing a lot of work with Eric Thomas, I'm not his official videographer, editor, or anything like that. We have some incredible people, Isaiah, Nikki, Jose, like incredible people that head up that side of things for ET. But sometimes when I'm on the road with him, you know, nobody else will be there. And I'm like, all right, I got this fancy iPhone camera. Let's put this thing to good use. And so I'll run out with him on stage and capture some B-roll. And even I've noticed that shot as he enters the stage from the side, if I'm under him just a little bit, like to the side behind him as he's walking out on stage, everybody stands up, gives him the ovation as he's walking out, and I capture the lights at that 45-degree angle and get the glare off the lens just right. Fire. Like every single time, fire, right? That's way better than a front-facing shot of him just walking up on stage. You can't see the crowd, you can't see the lights, there's no energy to it. And so you start to learn for your unique industry, whatever it is that you do, here's the variables that need to be in place to help this video be really, really successful. So step number 2 is study the trends in your industry. Number 3 is capture attention through either controversy or comedy. All right, I'm gonna say that one more time. Capture attention through either controversy or comedy. And we can really see this playing out. If you go look at TikTok or Instagram Reels, a lot of the people who are blowing up are either super controversial or they're super, super funny, right? You look at a guy like Andrew Schultz, you look at guys like Kevin Hart, you look at a lot of these social media comedians, they're just blowing up because why? Comedy is entertaining. We all love comedy. There's nobody on the planet who just is like, nope, I don't wanna laugh, ever. I'm just dark inside and I just don't wanna laugh. But who does that, right? So we all want to be entertained, we wanna laugh. So if you have that gift for comedy, if you're funny, or here's a pro tip, if you're not funny, your editors can be funny, right? You can see this with some of Eric Thomas's stuff on the Secrets to Success podcast. Isaiah is a freaking comedian, right? He's one of our editors. And the podcast itself usually is pretty serious, but then what Isaiah will do is grab clips of that and he'll put in like memes. He'll put in scenes from Family Guy or like different movies or whatever it is. And he just draws these connections that are so freaking hilarious that none of the guys on the podcast would probably ever think of. So even if you're not funny, there's still ways to edit the video in a way, especially if it's a speaking video, where you can inject some humor into it. So keep an eye out for any places where you can add some comedic effect. And then the other way you can do it is controversy, right? You look at Brad Lee, personal brand is blowing up. He takes a very strong stance on things and he does not care what you think about it. Donald Trump, same thing. Regardless of how you feel about him, you know how he feels about certain issues. Gary Vee, very strong, like you plant your flag in the ground. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe, controversial or not, I don't care. And of course you got guys like, I don't want to say his name because I don't want this video to get shadow banned, but it would rhyme with Landrew Fate, guy like him. Again, regardless of if you agree with the content that he's putting out there or the philosophy that he's trying to teach, he's extremely controversial. And the thing about controversy is it gets people talking. And so even to take an example that might seem counterintuitive, my sitting backflip video, again, 50 million views, there's no talking, there's no words, no opinions. How could it possibly be controversial? Good question. The amount of people that said this is fake, this is played in reverse, you're on a trampoline, like the amount of people who, by the way, had no clue what they were talking about. And that's all not true, by the way. It was done on a spring floor, a regulation tumbling floor. It was not played in reverse. You can go back and look at the clips of people in the background, whatever, or I can just do one next time. If you see me in a gym somewhere, ask me to do one. So like, it's not fake, but the amount of people who were saying it's fake, and then they were like adamant that it was fake, and then we had the cheer and gymnastics experts and the acro experts come in and be like, well, no, actually, I'm sticking up for this guy. I think it's real and blah. And then Dom got involved and like all of these things happen. And even that thing with Dom Lewis, the guy who did the sitting handspring and did the bounce into that flip, that became a controversy too, because I was saying I was the first in the world to do it. Dom said, no, you're the second. I said, okay, maybe not, but I'm the first one who got it on video from a seated, still position with no momentum going into it. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm the first. I've never seen you do it first. I never saw you do it first. It was a purely original idea. And you don't have it on video, so I think I'm first. And it became, and of course we're really good friends, so it was never like a heated thing, but his fans got into it, my fans got into it, it was a whole thing, right? So if you can spark a little bit of that controversy, you're going to be able to engage the fans and engage people who are viewing the content in a way that you just can't do if you're saying stuff that is just widely accepted. So spark some controversy or leverage some comedy. That's tip number 3. Tip number 4 is, once you have this masterfully created piece of viral content, you've got this video or this photo or whatever it is that you're doing, you've got this piece of content. What I want you to do is start sending it out to all of the repost pages, like all of them, all right? And this is something that I did very, very intentionally when that sitting backflip video blew up, that I think made a huge, huge difference. I submitted the video on WorldStar's website, I submitted it on 9gag's website, I submitted it on Lad Bible's website, like all these different people, I was submitting the video. I was in the DMs with ESPN, SportsCenter, Superhuman Strength, like all the big Instagram repost pages. I would send them the video and personally send them a message. Like, I didn't hire anybody to do this. I would send them a voice message on Instagram and say, hey, my name is Brandon Burns. I love your page, been following you guys for years. I just took this video. I think your viewers would love it and could get a lot of value out of it. If this is anything you're interested in posting, just let me know. And yes, some of those pages are gonna ask for a fee for the shout out and for the repost, but a lot of them won't, because what people don't understand is you might be afraid to approach one of these giant pages with millions of followers thinking that, oh, well, they don't need me. The reality is they do need you, because they're reposting other people's content. The majority of these pages don't post original content. So if you've got something that their viewers are gonna love, of course they need you. Of course they need your content, and they're gonna have no problem posting it. Now, I will say, I DM'd probably 1,000 different pages and only got reposted by 20. But that 20 was enough to get the ball rolling, and then organically it got shared. Somebody close to Steve-O took out their phone and said, hey man, look at this guy's crazy. Boom, Steve-O reposted it, and now we're in the DMs, we're friends. It's like, this is how this stuff works, right? You gotta shove the ball to get it rolling, but once it's rolling, it's gonna start creating that organic traffic. So send it to everybody that you possibly can. Tip number 5 on how you can make your content go viral is collaborate with others and incentivize sharing, all right? So what a lot of people don't know about the sitting backflip video is there's a guy named Aaron Michael, really famous in the cheerleading world, and he's probably got the highest standing back tuck of anybody on the planet. And he did a challenge called the low tuck challenge, where instead of using the natural God-given hops that he's got, he tried to do the lowest standing backflip that he possibly could. And so I actually replied to him in my post for the original sitting backflip video, and I said, hey Aaron, is this low enough for you? Right? And so now he shared it to all of his followers. He had 100-something thousand followers at the time, probably got more now. And now his followers started seeing it. They were like, oh my God. They start sharing it with their friends, and on it goes. So in a way, I was collaborating with him when I first posted that video. Another thing that you can do is incentivize sharing through things like giveaways, and we've all seen this before. Hey, share this with 3 friends, comment the friends you shared it with below, and we're gonna pick a random winner and send you this iPad. We're gonna pick a random winner and we're gonna do a 30-minute FaceTime call or a coaching session or whatever it is that you can offer somebody. If you don't have the money to give away a prize, then you can give away your time. If you don't have time to give away your time to talk to somebody, then you can give away, hopefully you got money if you don't have time, because if you don't have time or money, we got some problems we need to work out, and you should work with me to build a business. But anyway, then you'll be able to give them an actual physical, tangible prize for something, right? So use what you can. You can use commissions, right? Again, going back to our old buddy Landrew Fate, this is what he did. He had a commission structure for an affiliate marketing product where people would actually, what he did is so freaking genius. He had a Discord group, and it was free to join the Discord group. because of the way that Discord works, if I give you my Discord link and I say, hey, I'm not asking you to go sell anything on my behalf, I just want you to get people to enroll in my free Discord. And then that person uses your link to enroll in my Discord, and later on they purchase through a link in Discord, it will still attribute that sale to you and you'll get a commission. So that's how he was able to get all these people repurposing his content. Of course, he supplied the content as well. And it had them posted on their own individual platforms and their own individual accounts, was because the friction and the barrier to entry was super low for them. It's easy to get somebody to sign up for something that's free. And then later on, 3-6 months from now, when they bought something, they still got the grandfathered in commission from that because they could still attribute where they entered the whole ecosystem from. That's the power of Web3 and Discord. So you can do something like that, right? That encourages people to share. If you say, hey, share the video and share my Discord link, then you can literally be giving people commissions for sharing your content, right? Because you can provide the content on a Drive or Dropbox or whatever, and then say, hey, chop this up, make a bunch of videos out of it, do what you can to make it go viral, put people in this free Discord. Boom, they're incentivized from the commission, you get more and more virality. The only thing with that is you got to make sure it points back to you as a personal brand, and you got to be careful about people misrepresenting your own brand with that strategy. So with all that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. First episode ever of Money Mondays. We're going to really be diving into business development, business strategy, and a lot of it is going to be revolving around the digital age. And of course, this is an area that I feel like I have a decent amount of experience in, given some of the viral content I've been able to produce. And so this to me it's not a surefire way to make sure that your videos go viral, but it is a way to stack the deck in your favor. And at the end of the day, that's all that we can do, is stack the deck in our favor over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually luck will turn in our favor, and you better be ready to run with it when it does. All right. So if you got value out of this video, please do me a huge favor. We're talking about virality. Share this video with somebody that can gain some value out of this, who is in the social media game trying to get their content to pop. So if you know anybody like that, please do me a huge favor. It helps the channel grow. And it helps me do what I do to be able to produce more of these videos for you. So please share this with somebody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, don't forget, you're better than you think you are. And we'll see you on the next episode of Money Mondays.